Nenoboma, and I work for Scotiabank. I work as the director for risk management. So today I will be speaking on why do you need to prioritize employees and transformation in a time of change. I did listen to the first speaker, and he spoke a lot about the transformation that technology is bringing our way. And that's true because in the current market that we are in, we are really working with a lot of transformation. Robots are here. That's what I always like to say. And we are aware that digital transformation is something that has come to stay. So we have to live with it. We don't really have a choice anymore in terms of what we want versus what we don't want. But robots is something that every organization is working on right now, and they're using it to improve efficiency, improve productiveness. So we have to work with robots. But in it, we cannot also ignore employees. So we have to be able to work with both. So automation is a wave that's already happening. It is necessary to meet with the high demand that the current market is asking. You know, the market is evolving. There's high demand. People want things in real time. People want faster processes, quicker turnaround time. And to be able to do that, organizations have to have to deal with automation. But these automations are being done by humans, they're being done by employees. So we cannot neglect employees because we are moving to automation. Optimization is all about getting a balance between the two. So as much as every organization is, running towards transformation, trying to embrace the digital transformation, your employees, the way they feel, how they work, the values that you imbibe in them, the culture where this automation is happening is also as important. So robots are here, but the employees have been here and they will always be here. If we look at technology transformation, for so many decades, technology has been transforming. If we look at the simple smartphones that we have, think about laptops, think about televisions, think about iPhones. They've transformed so much over the years. If you remember when we had the very boxed TV, so now when we have, the LEDs, you will see there has been a lot of improvement and automation. But what happened in the last 2 years is actually the embracing of digital, digital social, impact as part of the way we live. When COVID came, so many organizations had to run or had to leverage, technology to be able to quickly transform to the needed, out of office work environment. Even organizations that thought that they cannot work, they cannot use technology because of security, because of so many other things, we're all forced to move towards leveraging technology. But in the midst of, COVID in the last 2 years, in the last year plus, taught us that, there is a real human aspect of, our lives that everybody craves for. In the midst of COVID, many of us were at home, many people were working in silos. There was a lot of emphasis by so many organizations, so many, the government were all about, treating the humans more than, the automation or the transformation that was going through organizations. Many organizations like mine focused a lot on the employee, making sure that, that the mental health was, was good, because many were losing families, many were going through a lot of, the news were everywhere. Every time you open the news, there were just either millions were sick, people were dying. And it was now very important to know that we had to care about people. what it really showed more, even especially in the social media, was that every humans have hearts, and they really want organizations and everyone to feel the heart. So it was extremely important that we had to start looking at, how do we bring the heart, the human heart in the middle of what we do. The behavior during COVID showed us that people ran to social media. The social construct was very, very, very essential. If you look at some incidents that happened then, if you look at maybe the incident of George Floyd, how it went viral, and some other incidents that happened, people cared more about how people were feeling, what people were going through. And such messages, you will notice that it goes viral very quickly when people are able to share their lived experiences, share their perspective as it affects them as humans, not necessarily the process and the operations. If you are a bit attentive in social media, you will find out that organizations have started to show themselves as having a heart rather than just being filled with robots and bots. So you will see that there are so many organizations will come out to share what are they doing for diversity and inclusion, what are they doing to create a good culture for all employees, what are they doing to help young mothers that have kids, and things like that. It became, a trend to showing that people wanted to see the hearts behind the organizations, not necessarily the robots. And these hearts are humans, they're employees. So the employees are the hearts of a company. And people want to connect with those hearts. They want to feel, how are you treating people? If an employee goes on something like LinkedIn or Instagram to blast a company, it could cause them a very big reputational damage, because people will share it, people believe it because it's coming from a place of the heart, not necessarily, documented robots that just don't speak. So many organizations started to take a look at how to treat employees. You could notice that during COVID, very many big organizations were very careful on how they, spoke about laying people off, spoke about unemployment. Even the government were also very careful to protect, the heart of their nation, make sure that people were okay, people could easily deal with issues that were coming out of the families, relationships, that the work from home, the silos were really causing. And in a survey that was done by Leeds University, this and which they presented during their annual conference in July, these were, some of the major things that they found that technology, how technology was impacting humans, and how organizations were working towards making sure that the hearts of the organizations are being cared for, not just talking about automation and processes that have to be in place. So it means that even though automation has come to stay, robots have come to stay, we need it to be able to drive efficiency with, in the organizations. But however, employees are still top of the game. They need to be happy. You need to value them, because they are the heart of the organization, and people connect with humans. They don't connect with robots. Your customers connect with the humans that work in your organization, and not just simply robots. So I wanted to put up this, and why I put up this is to show that the humans, which are your employees, and the robots have to work hand in hand. They are both extremely important. You can't neglect one for the other. A research that was done showed that 85 that companies that have effectively combined people and robots can boost their productivity by 85%. And this greatly improves efficiency and output. This is an example of an assembly line. We know that automation is very, very necessary. Like, we cannot undermine that, but we must recognize that humans are in charge. Humans develop the automation. Humans develop the robots. They calibrate it. They make decisions where to put them and where to remove them. The human intelligence cannot be replaced completely by artificial intelligence. So when you value your employees and you treat them well, it allows them to be more creative, and they're able to come with their whole self to work, and they bring so much value to the organization. One thing I always like to say is humans have hearts, while robots have machines. The center of robots are machines. The center of humans, which are your employees, are hearts. So it means that they can feel. So the way you treat both are completely different. You can't treat humans the same way you treat robots, because the composition of humans are completely different from the compositions of robots. Machines work tirelessly. They don't burn out. So you can set robots to work 24/7 and you leave them. When they keep working, even though you need 1 or 2 maintenance for them, but they can work, they can keep working, they don't burn out, as long as the platform is running. So that is a characteristics that employees do not have. They burn out, so they need breaks. They cannot work 24/7 tirelessly. So you have to be able to understand that distinction. Machines do not seek compassion. They listen to words. So whatever you have coded or programmed, they're able to listen and do it, but they don't feel. So they don't care how you wrote it. They don't care how it sounds. They don't care about the tone that you used to put it together. But employees want to know that you care about them. They want to be connected to the value they deliver. So it means that the way you communicate to employees and the way you communicate to machines are very different. But because you need your employees to be able to make your machines effective, you have to care about them. You have to prioritize them in the core value of your organization, because human intelligence is taxed. It means that it's internal. The organizations have to be able to find ways to externalize the intelligence that the humans have. And so for you to be able to do that, you have to create a good working environment so that your employees might be able to display their intellect, to display their creativity, to display their innovation. So when they do that, then the machines can then take it up and build repetitive tasks based on that. Machines have no other lives. They just do the task they have been programmed to do. But your employees do have other lives. Every employee is multitasking. They have families to care for. They have other passions. Some of them may want to be, sing. They have passion that they grew up with. Some may have wanted to be singers, or they just enjoy singing. Some enjoy dancing. Some enjoy doing other things. They have families. Some have kids. Some are into relationships. Some live in a community they have to care for. Some have aged parents. All these are part of them. You can't remove an employee and say, you're just my employee, I don't care about your aged parents. Because everything about one employee, every facet of their life is part of what makes them whole. So you have to be able to show care for their mental health, for their physical health, for their family. Because when they know that you care, When they are able to say that you listen to them, then they come with so much passion. And passion drives creativity, brings forth innovation. And above all, it builds reputation for your organization. People will go on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and they will say, oh, I love to work for SS company because, when I was going through my maternity leave, my company sent me some flowers. Other people see it and they'll be like, wow, this company is great. I would also like to work there. Your customers see them and they're like, wow, this company treats their employees well. So I would like to be their customer. When they have two different offers from two companies, then they remember an article they saw on LinkedIn where this particular organization helped out an employee who really needed it. And then they make a decision, because one thing that has happened in the last year is that we have learned that humans have hearts. Social media has really brought global issues to everyone and has also narrowed variations in cultures, where everybody wants to be modernized now, and people have really called their cultures obsolete. So people want respect, even if they come from a culture where there is no respect. But because they see that it exists in some other cultures, everybody's looking for a central modernized culture where humans have to be respected, where people have the right to speak, and where people have the right to be cared for and to care for others. This is something that COVID has brought into awareness for many of us. And I see that as the future for the companies, for organizations that will do well after COVID. Based on a research by JE Partners, employees who feel their voice is heard are 4.6 times more to feel empowered to perform their best work. So it's important to listen to your employees, to empower them, to create a platform where they can feel that there is care for them. And then they perform their best work. And that is what an organization needs to move forward. You need people, you need employees that will bring creativity on the table. You need employees that will bring innovation on the table. You need employees that will come with their best work, because as they bring their best self to work, then your organization has the ability to innovate, to come out with better products, to beat competition, and to become, to gain social space. So some of the ways that organizations are working on that is that right now, we know that work from home has created even wider silos, within the way employees interact. But most people also, through a survey that I saw, want to, keep working from home. And that's why, the future we see is a hybrid future where people can work both from home and also some days in the office. But to be able to create that gap of interaction, a lot of organizations are creating ways to engage employees. A lot of leaders, managers are doing that. People are coming up with ideas of visual lobbies, games, talk series, bringing opportunities to help employees to interact, engage, even though they are doing it virtually. Playing games, looking for activity, then going out for social activities once in a while. Town halls, where you're able to communicate what is happening within the organization, and also, intentionally allow your employees to participate across all levels. So if they were going to be speakers during a town hall, bring some that are VPs, but also bring some that are analysts to be able to showcase, what they are working on. It helps inclusiveness within the organization, and it makes every employee to know that they are valued irrespective of their level. because it's important that no matter what level an employee is, everyone is contributing to the value that is being driven in the organization. Create platforms that will allow employees to speak out. Some are using surveys, some are doing polls, different ways that you can. One-on-one, create opportunities so that those employees within your organization will really know that you care. And caring is actually listening. When you listen to people, when you listen to employees, even if you're just doing little things, to show that you're listening, that is an act that is very, very, very important. One thing that COVID has done is that it has created a lot of visibility on social media. So it's important for us to know that our employees have voice and they share their lived experiences. They share their perspective about our organizations. And with so many activities happening online, and online being one of the quickest and easiest source of information about you, about your brand, about who you are. As an organization, you should care so much about it so that you can influence what your employees say about you, so that the right message that you want can be the concept or the core message that every employee can carry out or carry along. That way, your reputation, even when they are sharing their own lived experiences on their different network, will go. Some employees have followers of millions. So just think about how one thing they say negatively about your organization can really, really destroy your reputation. So it is important for us to prioritize our employees, even as we are also prioritizing transformation, automation. It is very important to do automation. You cannot survive without automation, but you have to create room for both because the landscape is changing. It's changing to seeing the hearts of organizations. You can be doing so well as an organization in terms of your bottom line, but if people can't feel the hearts within your organization, you're still going to be prone to some reputational damage. So I will challenge you to think about your employees as a key asset in your organization. As you plan your processes, as you plan, your goals and your objectives, let your core value be built about your employees, because happy employees will also bring you happy customers. Because your employees are also a great part of your influence. Thank you.